What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin Cash today. Shout out to the Dragon Riders in the House of the Dragon. We're moving up a little bit, aren't we? Sitting here at about $440 right now, up 1.4% on the day, 1.35%, whatever. Not a bad look. It does seem to me as though we have some kind of triple bottom here. If and when we get above 400, I'd say let's say above this high here. Yeah, probably about there. We get above about 400, let's say 485. You get above there, likely that solidifies this as a low. I think you will get above there. I'm anticipating that you do, expecting that you make that move probably now. You're in the midst of that move now. You moved up here from this same area. It took you 1, 2, 3, 4 days. Here, you've been consolidating, but now you're making the move 1, 2, 3, 4 days later. Could be by the end of the week that you're up here. I like that. That makes sense, yeah. By the end of the week, we're expecting Bitcoin Cash to be up at about 480. 490, somewhere in that range. At least I would think somewhere around 460, at least another 20 bucks up, but by the end of the week, that's what we're calling for, if not higher. And the higher we are, the better, man. The higher we are, the better. That's just how it is sometimes, right? From a daily RSI perspective, you are getting overbought. When you get oversold, you're reluctant to get oversold. You got a little bit more oversold here, but look at probably what you're doing there. Yeah, you're in the midst of a more severe downtrend there, okay? Here, barely getting oversold. It's at the bottom of your somewhat semi-intense move down. Nothing crazy, right? And then ever since then, you've just been finding higher lows. So I think you want to revisit the overbought zone. I think when you get there, it's going to be a friendly reunion, as it seems to be most of the time. Maybe not on the first attempt. You know, maybe we do find a little resistance first. Maybe we find some resistance at 480, 490, consolidate, and then we move up, and then that's when that breakout move comes. I don't know, but that would imply then that once we get above 480, we will likely see an overall retracement of this move and something that might extend out of it as well. From a high to a low, we get above 483 here, 485. The next stopping point would be at the 618 to 69 area, which is at 529 to 548. You have been consolidating above the 382. And it's often in moments like this where you don't stop at the golden ratio, but you stop at the 786 to the 886 area, 575 to 605. So Bitcoin Cash might be in the midst of a move from here that moves it up overall 30% to 37%, probably within the next week. Not by the end of this week. It's Friday now, right? Is it Friday or is it Saturday? Let me see. Is it? Let's look at the time. Hold on. It's Friday. Yes, it's Friday now. Not by the end of this week. I mean, if we're up there by the end of this week, I'm not going to say no to that. That's great. That exceed my expectations. Do it. Go for it. But if we're up there by the end of next week, I would anticipate that. I would definitely anticipate that we're at 575 to 605 by the end of next week, and then potentially progressing higher. At a minimum, it's about a 30% move from here. What would that do for Bitcoin? Because Bitcoin, if Bitcoin Cash moves up 30%, Bitcoin doesn't likely move up 30%, but it moves up something. You don't see BCH move up without BTC most of the time whenever it's dramatic moves. Sometimes, I mean, even in its strong phases where Bitcoin Cash obliterates BTC and it just decides to move up, Bitcoin's still moving up too. So what, like a 10% move? 15% move? Does Bitcoin itself make a 20% move? I could see a 20% move, and Bitcoin Cash makes a 30% move. They don't go tit for tat, and they don't have to double, or Bitcoin Cash doesn't have to double Bitcoin. It could triple Bitcoin, you know. And if it triples Bitcoin, that'd be 10%, 116. Either way, what I'm getting at here is that the assumption that we have that we're going to go to 575 to 605 by the end of next week would also lead me to assume that Bitcoin itself, by the end of next week, it's going to have a pretty significant move up, which then means that all of crypto is probably going to have a significant move up next week. That's exciting. That's exciting stuff, right? Okay, so 886, 786, we got that figured out. Let's look at the daily RSI here. Higher lows, yes. We already looked at this. I'm sorry. You're getting above the 50. If we can close here or higher today, that would be a good signal. Also closing above your 236, that's also a good signal, right? Let's look at the 4-hour time frame. 4 hour, a little bit overbought, a little bit oversold here and there. You look like you want to get into the overbought zone now. So yes, you're moving up. I think you're moving up. By the end of today, maybe we see prices at 472 or something, but you guys know where I'm expecting the price to be by the end of the week. I think we'll be 485. 1 hour time frame. Looks bullish. Looks like it wants to keep going rather immediately, doesn't it? Looks like you want to get into that overbought zone. This next move could be where you find some turbulence, okay? And if you were to keep moving up on this, and it's on the 1 hour, so turbulence could last for like half a day, right, or a quarter of a day. You probably move up right now, I would assume over the coming 4 hours maybe, if not less time or around there. You probably do, let's just see where that's at now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9, I don't know if it takes 9 candles. I mean, maybe it does. I just feel like 9 candles from now, you'd be, if you kept moving up, you'd be, not, I don't know. Maybe it takes 9 candles. I'm just drawing it roughly. I'm not. This is not an exact science, right? I'm just assuming with the RSI on the 1 hour looking like it's at a point where it is bullishly postured, but these kind of trends, they can only last for so long, right? You can't go above the 100. So this next one, if it gets a higher high, that's at 90. Likely the next one will not get a higher high because you'd be breaking 100, right? So likely this next move comes to an end. This is the end of this uptrend in the 1 hour RSI. So then you'll correct out of it for like half a day or a quarter of a day, and then you'll resume. And that correction won't be significant to the price. It'll be something pretty insignificant like this, right? Or like this. It's not going to be anything crazy. But if we're going to have a stopping point soon on the 1 hour, that's what it looks like to me. Where's the next logical stopping point for the price? Well, right here, where we had 2 points of resistance, a little bit of support back here, a point of resistance before we broke out. You even tipped this same line before you went down, a little bit of resistance in the same area. Disrespected the hell out of it there. Resistance, 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 support. Yes, it seems somewhat significant right there at about 450, 460. So that's my thoughts. We're at 441 now. By the end of today, likely within the next, let's say 4 to 8 hours, you'll be at 450. Something like that is what my expectations are. And then from there, you probably do correct back down to about the prices we're at now. Or if you don't correct back to 440, maybe you only correct down to like 445, but something around here, right? Something around here. So maybe up by the end of today, that would be perfect. By today's end, look at that. That's right at the beginning of the next day right there. And then to start the day off, we move down, and then to finish the day, we move back up. Oh, that'd be perfect. It'd be perfect. I'm not an author, but I'm writing a story right now. We'll see how it goes. Let's look at the weekly time frame. Get excited, get jacked up on some higher prospects, and then we'll wrap this video up. Okay, so actually, I want to bring it up. BCH here. Nope. That's not what I meant to do. We don't want capital.com. We want Coinbase. It's got the most history with volume. So we're going to look at this, the MA ribbon. We have 8 hours and 27 minutes left in this day. If today closes here, or at least not like 4% to the downside, because we've even seen it while the month is red, this is still bullishly crossing, right? What do I mean by bullishly crossing? I mean, the yellow line here, this yellow line, it might not seem significant to some people, but it's very significant to me and to anybody who's aware of how moving averages trend and how they reverse and all this kind of stuff. This is a very bullish cross, right? You've heard of golden crosses, death crosses. This isn't that, but it's a very bullish cross. Bullish or golden crosses are like the 50 and the 200. Death cross, it's different time frame, but same kind of idea. This crossing upwards is a bullish thing. So if we close here or higher, even if we close a little bit lower, we're likely going to get this bullish cross confirmed on a monthly time frame, which is a huge signal. Not only that, but you found support on the yellow line here. You found support again here, and now you're confirming the cross with these higher lows, guys. I assume this next move, I've been saying it for months. I think this next move will be bigger than anything we've seen in Bitcoin Cash's cycle so far. It might be the biggest move we've ever seen in Bitcoin Cash's history. You're crazy, C-Zar. You're just saying that for engagements and clicks. You want people to buy your coin. We know that you're a Bitcoin Cash holder. We know you like it. Okay, that's fair. I hear you. But here's the deal. You look at the monthly time frame, or sorry, we can look at the monthly time frame, I suppose. Monthly time frame, we've already been overbought once. Okay, and it probably, by the end of the cycle, will be overbought again. Okay, that's multiple iterations in the overbought zone in one cycle, which we've never had before, which could suggest, and likely, to me, it absolutely does suggest, it's conclusive that this cycle would be stronger than the last cycle. Now, we don't have readings from the cycle before, so will it be stronger than these moves? That's debatable, right? We don't have that context in play. But I do want to say, from this exact same price that we're at now, Bitcoin Cash in 1 month moved up 452%. So if you're not prepared for a move that could literally take you all the way up to $2,500 by the end of February, sometime in March, if you're not prepared for that, get prepared, because it's a very real possibility. We've got the monthly cross on this bullish EMA ribbon here. Okay, very, very bullish. Not only that, But with this extremely bullish momentum that we're about to gain in 8 hours and 25 minutes, just because 8 hours and 25 minutes goes by doesn't mean it's off to the races now. We could go down, and probably we likely do go down to start the month. It's okay if we do. We could go all the way back down. I mean, technically, by the way of this chart, if next month opens, we'd probably be a little higher. You could probably even go below 400 and still be fine, but I doubt you do. I very much doubt you do. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying don't get worried if we get the cross and then we move down immediately. It's okay, okay? That actually happens quite a bit. But beyond the bullish cross, we'll also have another kind of bullish crossing, and that is the crossing between this line and the freedom of exploration, right? We've never been outside of this consolidation phase. We've never had the monthly ribbon bullishly crossed ever. And we're about to change two never have beens to two it's happening nows. I'm assuming, based off of these extremely bullish events and scenarios and key points of breaking out, that we're going to see a stronger move than we've seen so far this cycle. That's what I'm assuming. Okay. Oh, I meant to do this. I got distracted. But on the weekly time frame, talking about that, on the weekly time frame here, we had the highest, absolutely highest reading in the RSI that we've ever seen. It was the strongest move that we've ever seen. It was pretty close to this, but it was just a little bit higher than that, okay? Not only that, but if you notice here, barely getting overbought for a moment, and then you had your last hurrah, and that was it. Here, you had your hoorah first. Here, you weren't barely getting overbought. You were living in it, bouncing off it, getting up there. And even here, on your lowest tip so far, your lowest peak is equal to your second highest peak. It's above all the other peaks you had in the bull market. You were postured and showing more strength this cycle by far than you have any of the other cycles, okay? I'm assuming, and then you can see that too on the down moves too, right? Because here, yes, we both went down to these lows, right? You went to this low. But here you were living below the 50 a lot more, right? If I draw a line here, look at how long in the bull cycle Bitcoin Cash lived down here. Look at how long it lived down here this time, right? Like it's different. You're a lot more bullishly structured, a lot more. At least in my opinion. Take it from my opinion, I suppose. If we were to see a stronger move than this, which is what I'm anticipating, that would imply then, let's say in 8 hours we close right here. That would then imply that we see a move. Oh man, that's great. We would see a move that's above $1,600. We would see a move that's above $1,600 and at least see a move that's like $1,300, which, hey, doesn't that make sense? Doesn't that come in line with everything I've been saying? In fact, I got to say, you guys, and I've thought about this. I've hinted at this. I haven't been as convicted of this, but my convictions are getting a little bit higher after just the thought process of this video. Shout out to the Dragon Riders in the House of the Dragon. I'm thinking, you guys, we could be above $2,000 by the end of February. That sounds crazy, right? I've been calling for a long time for Bitcoin Cash to be at 1,700. That was the end of year prediction in 2024. And then we rolled it over, not the end of year, but the end of move. Well, we haven't even had the move yet. We've been consolidating in the presence of these very bullish situations. The Bitcoin bull market is about to kick off and start its next phase up while Bitcoin Cash is doing all this other stuff. Maybe, just maybe, it doesn't stop in an area that would make sense this cycle. Maybe it sees a stronger move. Now, would this make sense? Yes, it's on par with what we've done so far. It's perfect. It's literally on par with what we've done so far. Does it make sense? Yes, you're at your previous all-time highs, or not all-time highs, previous cycle highs, yeah. Could it make sense on a fib perspective, high to low? I mean, that's right around your 786. That's all the way up to $1,800. Yeah, it could make sense. But if you break above this area, if you get significantly, like if you get above $1,800, you're not stopping until about $1,000 higher. Okay, that's what that means to me. 2,500, 2,800, whatever, give or take. But that's my expectations for Bitcoin Cash. I got nothing else for you guys. If you liked the video, hit that like button. Subscribe if you want to see more. The weekly RSI is looking like it's poised, postured, ready to go to the upside, right? Higher lows, higher highs, and then of course you had that little spike there. I think this next trip will take us into the overbought zone. Likely this next trip also will provide a higher high in the weekly RSI, not a lower high, and with that we will see the beginnings, I think, of the most powerful move that Bitcoin Cash has either ever seen in its entire existence, or the second most powerful move, right? The only reason I say second is because this was a very powerful move Are we going to see this exact same move from a low to a high, 723% in the course of 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks? I don't think so. But maybe the next best to that, right? Maybe instead of 740%, we only see 480%. Maybe we only see 350%, right? But something bigger than what we've seen so far. Something bigger than we've seen in a very long time. That's all I got. Shout out to the Dragon Riders. Thank you all for being here. Hit the like button, subscribe. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.